Generally speaking, a martial spirit mutation is predetermined at birth, which means that if a martial spirit has already mutated, it will manifest during the martial spirit awakening. Mutations caused by external influences are exceedingly rare. Tang San's martial spirit is blue silvergrass, which is inherently weak, making it easier for him to absorb any spirit ring without significant rejection. Even though the man-faced demon spider's spirit ring is strong, it wouldn't cause a mutation in his martial spirit. The most crucial point is that his blue silvergrass martial spirit has not disappeared. He can still release it. From this, I can conclude that it is not a case of martial spirit mutation. Flender asked, then what is it? These spider legs can't have appeared out of nowhere. Wuji mentioned that these spider legs carry the venom of the man-faced demon spider. If used properly, they could be a formidable weapon with an element of surprise. The master's eyes flickered with light as he suddenly stood up. I need to see those spider legs in person to determine what they truly are. Flender gestured for the master to sit back down. Come on, those kids just got back. You can look for Xiao San tomorrow. Let him rest. The master hesitated but eventually sat back down. If my guess is correct, Tang San's gains from this trip to the Stardow Forest could be immense, even surpassing the benefits of the spirit ring he acquired. Flender was shocked. You mean? The master nodded. But I can't be certain yet. If it turns out as I suspect, then I will agree to stay. Flender laughed. Good, I look forward to you staying. Our brothers can finally be together again. It's just a shame she's not here. Hearing Flender mention her, the master's expression changed slightly, and he frowned. Flender, don't bring her up. I don't want to argue with you. Flender shrugged helplessly. All right. I don't want to argue either. But I really hope you stay. All these years, I've put so much effort into Shrek Academy, and now I've decided to close it. I want this last batch of students to give me a perfect ending. With you here, everything will be easier. The master saw a hint of fatigue in Flender's eyes and softened his expression slightly, nodding. Let's talk after I see Xiao San tomorrow. Flender turned to Zhao Wuji. Wuji, you've had a long day. Go get some rest. Thanks for your hard work. Zhao Wuji smiled. The academy isn't just yours. We all stay here because we believe in this place and enjoy the peace it offers. This place represents our collective effort. No need for thanks. Master Flender, I'll take my leave. With that, Zhao Wuji stood up and left Flender's office. Flender watched Zhao Wuji leave, feeling a bit comforted. If it weren't for these old friends, I might not have been able to keep the academy running all these years. Once this batch of students graduates, I need to relax and travel the continent. Xiaozheng, will you join me then? The master hesitated, then shook his head. I don't know. Flender sighed. Although I know you don't want to think about the past, I can't help but say that our time together was the happiest period of my life. If only we could live carefree like that forever. Listening to Flender, the master seemed touched, looking down as he said, people grow old and mature. What's the point of bringing up the past? It's easy to say, if only we had just met, but can that ever truly happen? Flender shook his head, sighing, Xiaozheng, you're still so stubborn. If you were a bit more flexible, things might not be like this. Can't you accept her? It wasn't her fault, and do you really care so much about what others think? Shut up. The master's mood suddenly became agitated. He glared at Flender. Don't mention her in front of me again. And you? What about you? After all these years, why aren't you with her? Don't tell me you don't love her. If that's the case, why are you still single and dedicated to Shrek Academy? It's just because of a promise she made. Flender's gaze turned cold. Xiaozheng, you're still so stubborn after all these years. Yes, I admit, I love her. But she loves you. I won't steal my brother's love. I can't act on my feelings. I cherish the memories. Isn't it good to be free and easy? The master abruptly stood up. Free and easy? Nonsense. What I wanted was for you to make her happy. After all these years, seeing you again, and hearing you say you only cherish memories, makes me want to kill you. Flender sighed. Xiaojang, don't get worked up. I know you left for the sake of the three of us. Over the years, you've stayed away to avoid disturbing our lives. But she only loves you. Despite everything, she loves you. I can't force her to do something she doesn't want. Maybe she'd agree, but she wouldn't be happy. I've been looking for you all these years, so has she. Before she left, I told her I'd always be her big brother. She never forgot you, never gave up on her true feelings. Can't you? The master smiled coldly. Do you think she'd still forgive me after all this time? I've never feared anything, but now I fear facing her. Honestly, when I didn't see her with you, I felt relieved. But then I realized I was empty inside. I can't repay what I owe her. I lack the courage to face her. Yue Flender stared at the master, unable to speak. Fine, it's your business. I won't tell her about you. But if she finds you one day, don't run away. If you still consider me your brother. The master didn't reply, but Flender saw his eyes redden. He knew the master's pain and said nothing more. Have you gone home? Flender changed the subject. The master shook his head. I no longer have a home. Flender sighed. That's still your home. Even if they don't welcome you. The master waved him off. I won't return until I've proven myself. I won't let them laugh at me. Flender smiled. You've really put all your hopes on Xiao San. Did you know Wuji got beaten up for Xiao San? The master laughed. I didn't know, but I can guess. That person isn't someone you can afford to offend. You know. Flender was surprised, looking at the master with a strange expression. The master pulled out a token from his pocket and handed it to Flender, showing 6 clear marks on it. He gave this to me. Flender, what you see in Xiao San now is not everything. His true potential hasn't been fully realized. Do you really think his martial spirit is just blue silver grass? If so, why would he be my disciple? Flender was shocked. His martial spirit mutated? The master shook his head. No, it's not a mutation. It's dual. What? Night fell, with a few clouds in the sky, adding a misty beauty to the evening. As the night faded with time, the dormitory door quietly opened when the first light of dawn appeared in the sky. Despite his exhaustion, Tang San's daily routine remained unaffected. He silently walked out of the dormitory. Even though it was still quite dark outside, this was his favorite time of the day. Because it was dawn, a new beginning. Each time, he felt as if everything within him was waking up, making everything seem beautiful. Genius is often backed by hard work. Without diligent training, no matter how talented a soul master is, they cannot achieve anything. Tang San's apparent strength had been forged through over a decade of effort. Skilled in leaping onto rooftops, Tang San nearly slipped this time because, as he landed, he saw someone already sitting there, staring at him intently. Dawn often makes people feel relaxed, and Tang San was no exception, which is why he hadn't been alert to his surroundings and got startled. The person on the rooftop grabbed Tang San by the shoulder, pulled him to sit beside them, and gestured for silence. After the initial shock, Tang San was overjoyed. He immediately recognized the person sitting on the roof. It was his teacher. A teacher, when did you get here? Tang San asked excitedly. Tang Hao had left Holy Spirit Village when Tang San was 7, leaving only a letter behind. Since then, he had disappeared without a trace. The Grandmaster had filled this void of familial affection. Although he wasn't good at expressing it, Tang San received much care and love from him. If it weren't for the Grandmaster and Xiao Wu, Tang San's mindset wouldn't be as it was now. For him, in this second life, apart from his father, they were the most important people. The Grandmaster habitually patted Tang San's head. I said I would come to find you here. I've been here for a few days. I heard you went to the Star Doe Forest. However, you gave me quite a surprise by breaking through to level 30 so quickly. Tang San smiled. That's because of your excellent teaching. The Grandmaster's expression suddenly turned stern. Did I ever teach you to absorb the spirit rings of unknown age spirit beasts? Tang San was taken aback, realizing that the Grandmaster already knew about his dangerous encounter. He awkwardly shook his head. No. The Grandmaster snorted. Then why did you act so recklessly? Did you forget how dangerous the man-faced demon spider is? If something had happened to you, how would I explain it to your father? You are my only disciple and my hope. Without my permission, you are not allowed to die, understand? Though the Grandmaster's words were harsh, Tang San, who was familiar with him, could hear the deep concern and fear in his voice. His teacher was afraid for his safety. Tang San felt a warmth in his eyes and respectfully lowered his head. Teacher, I was wrong. The Grandmaster glared at Tang San for a while before sighing. Xiao San, you have a very bad trait. This trait might bring you trouble in the future. What is it? Please tell me, I will definitely change, Tang San hurriedly said. The Grandmaster shook his head and smiled bitterly. Although it is a flaw, it is also a strength. You place too much importance on your emotions. This time, if Xiao Wu hadn't been captured, you wouldn't have lost your composure and forced the absorption. Tang San understood the Grandmaster's point. He was right. If it weren't for Xiao Wu, he wouldn't have acted so impulsively. At that moment, Tang San had lost most of his judgment, thinking only about saving Xiao Wu. The Grandmaster's gaze softened as he patted Tang San's head again. I scolded you today, so that you remember to always think calmly. Even if the most important person to you is in danger, you must stay calm. Only by ensuring your own safety can you have a chance to save others. Many problems cannot be solved by acting on impulse. Do you understand? Tang San nodded quickly. Teacher, I understand. The Grandmaster smiled slightly, satisfied with his obedient disciple. Come, let's go outside the academy. I want to see the results of your impulsiveness. Tang San was delighted. He wanted to ask the Grandmaster about his physical condition as well. The two jumped down from the rooftop, not disturbing anyone, and quietly left the village for a small forest outside. The Grandmaster gestured to Tang San, who understood his meaning instantly. He activated his soul power and released his martial spirit. Blue-purple light shimmered as the blue-silver grass spread out, quietly rising around Tang San and swaying gently. The Grandmaster observed the blue-silver grass closely, murmuring, the blue-silver grass is thinner, looks glossier than before, and has a faint sweet and fishy smell. It should be the poison from the man-faced demon spider seeping in. With the toughness of the man-faced demon spider's silk, your blue silvergrass, although thinner, should be more resilient than before. Xiao San, wrap that tree over there and pull with all your strength. Yes. Tang San raised his hand, and a blue silver grass shot out, instantly wrapping around a large tree 10 meters away. He pulled with all his strength, activating his mysterious heaven skill to the fullest. The tree, as thick as an adult's embrace, began to bend gradually under Tang San's full force. The Grandmaster walked to the tree, carefully observing the blue-silver grass wrapped around the trunk. As Tang San exerted more force, the blue-silver grass started to cut into the bark. A faint mist emanated from where the grass touched the tree, showing that the blue-silver grass was penetrating deeper. As Tang San pulled harder, the tree bent more significantly. That's enough, you can stop now, the Grandmaster gestured to Tang San. Tang San relaxed his blue-silver grass, which swiftly retracted like a nimble snake, showing no signs of damage. Yi Xiao-san, come and look, the Grandmaster called Tang San over. The toughness of the blue silvergrass has clearly increased. Although it has become thinner, even with your full strength at level 30 soul power, there were no signs of it stretching or breaking. This means your soul power isn't enough to break the blue silvergrass. Also, the poison on the blue silvergrass has significantly increased. If you use the ghost vine's venomous thorns, the effect should be even better. Besides the original type of poison, it now has a corrosive poison, which belongs to the man-faced demon spider. Tang San looked where the Grandmaster pointed and saw that the tree trunk was deeply indented where the blue silvergrass had wrapped, about 2 inches in, with a charred black area around it. Although the smoke had dissipated after the blue silvergrass retracted, the strong corrosive poison it carried was still evident. Teacher, the blue silvergrass's toxicity has increased a lot. It now has 3 main effects: soul power paralysis, neurotoxic pain, and corrosion. For an average soul master, it would be tough to resist with soul power alone. Especially with the added corrosive poison, once it pierces the opponent's skin, the other 2 poisons will have greater effect. Additionally, the enhanced toughness makes it tighter when wrapped, significantly boosting its effectiveness. The Grandmaster said, although absorbing the man-faced demon spider's spirit ring was highly risky, the rewards were proportional. Just the enhancement of the blue silvergrass is already quite impressive. Moreover, your strength and speed have increased significantly. You've gained a lot. However, I must remind you again, never make the same mistake twice. I don't ever want to see a scene where the elder sends off the younger. Tang San chuckled, Teacher, I understand. I won't be impulsive again. The Grandmaster nodded with a smile, come, show me your 3rd spirit ability. Tang San nodded, looking around before choosing a spot between 2 trees. At this moment, with his martial spirit released, 3 spirit rings moved rhythmically around him. Under the stimulation of his mysterious heaven skill, the 3rd spirit ring suddenly shone, its bright purple light enveloping him, overshadowing the other 2 rings. The Grandmaster nodded appreciatively, also feeling a bit envious. After all, this 3rd spirit ring represented his lifelong aspiration, which he never achieved. Tang San solemnly raised his right hand, his palm glowing blue. His entire soul power surged, creating an invisible pressure that made the surrounding shrubs tremble. Go! With a low shout, a blue-green light shot from Tang San's palm, instantly expanding to a 5-meter diameter as it flew forward. Within the blue light, the Grandmaster saw its true form. It was a giant spider web, intricately woven, each strand finer than the previous blue silvergrass, and all a clear blue color. As the web spread, it clung to the 2 large trees, forming a hanging web. The 5-meter-wide web glowed blue in the dawn light, creating a beautiful but deadly sight. After releasing the web, Tang San's face visibly paled, clearly due to the excessive expenditure of energy. This was Tang San's 3rd spirit ability, Spider Web Restraint. Yi Xiao-san, tell me your impressions of this spirit ability, the Master asked while carefully examining the web stuck between 2 trees. Tang San replied, after absorbing the man-faced demon spider's spirit ring, this 3rd spirit ability appeared. From my understanding, it has several characteristics. First, it's composed of blue silvergrass, so it retains all of the blue silvergrass's properties, including its toxins and tenacity. Second, the web itself has an adhesive property, making it extremely sticky. Once something touches it, the web immediately wraps around the target and binds it tightly. Third, the web is instantaneous. With my current spirit power, using this ability once consumes 1/3 of my spirit power. The Master frowned slightly. Is that all? Are there any other characteristics? Tang San continued, there's one more important feature. The web's toughness is twice that of the blue silvergrass. In the future, the area, usage frequency, and toughness of this ability will increase with my strength. This means the stronger the blue silvergrass becomes, the tougher the web will be. The toxins of the blue silvergrass are also incorporated into the web. The master nodded. That's correct. What are your thoughts on this spirit ability? Tang San said, although it doesn't seem particularly glamorous, I think this ability is very practical. It greatly enhances my control over my martial spirit. A web with twice the tenacity of blue silver grass isn't easy to break free from. The master smiled slightly. No, you still underestimate it. It's not just practical, but also extremely powerful. A spirit ability from a man-faced demon spider you absorbed beyond your limit wouldn't be anything less than formidable. I'm almost certain that unless you face an opponent who can specifically counter your binding ability, spirit masters of the same level or even 10 levels higher than you won't be able to escape its restraint. With this ability, you truly possess the powerful control characteristic of a control-type spirit master. Seeing Tang San's thoughtful expression, the master continued, in one-on-one combat, the strongest isn't the power-type spirit master, nor the assault or agility-type spirit master, but the control-type spirit master. Because a control-type spirit master can restrict or control the opponent's actions. If the opponent can't break free from your control, how can they attack you? In the spirit master world, control-type spirit masters have always been terrifying. They are not well known because they usually need teammates to maximize their effectiveness. But truly powerful spirit masters understand the importance and strength of control types. Tang San asked, teacher, are you saying that in one-on-one situations, spirit masters below the 40th level cannot break free from my web restraint? The master nodded. Basically, yes. But there are exceptions. This world is fair, and every martial spirit has its advantages. Didn't you once think your blue silvergrass was a useless martial spirit? Similarly, although your martial spirit has become very strong with these 3 spirit rings, there are still counters. As he spoke, the master took out a simple item and walked to the web. It was a fire starter. He struck it, and a flame sprang up. The master held the flame under the web, allowing the fire to roast it. At first, Tang San didn't notice anything, but after a while, he saw the extremely tough web starting to melt at the bottom. I understand. The counter is fire, Tang San realized. He recalled the first time he met Ma Hongjun. Back then, Ma Hongjun had easily neutralized Tang San's blue silvergrass with his phoenix flames. Although he suffered later, Tang San's blue silvergrass was ineffective. The master nodded. Whether it's plants or your web, they all fear fire. This small flame isn't enough to threaten the web. However, if you encounter a spirit master skilled in fire, your martial spirit will be completely countered. Almost every control-type martial spirit has its weakness. This is the cost of being stronger than other types. Your blue silvergrass's weakness is its fear of fire. Be extra cautious when you encounter spirit masters with fire-based abilities. Tang San thought for a moment. Teacher, if I try to obtain spirit rings that enhance fire resistance in the future, could I eliminate this weakness? The master shook his head firmly. Don't do that. Although it might increase your blue silvergrass's fire resistance, think about it. If you waste 1 or even 2 spirit abilities on fire resistance, will you still have enough abilities to compete with your opponents as your spirit power grows? But if I don't enhance fire resistance, won't I be helpless against spirit masters with such abilities? Tang San questioned. He understood the master's point, but was uneasy about his martial spirit having such a significant weakness. The master smiled. Control-type spirit masters rarely act alone. The best solution is to rely on your teammates to address this issue. Besides, you aren't entirely without solutions. You've been working on those hidden weapons. Although I think it's a bit of a distraction, I can't deny their impressive power. Also, remember, you don't just have blue silvergrass as your martial spirit. The master's reminder made Tang San think of his hammer. Teacher, are you saying I can cultivate with that hammer? The master firmly shook his head. No. Remember, without my permission, you must not attach any spirit rings to that hammer. It's crucial for your future. For now, you can only rely on blue silvergrass. Although he didn't fully understand the master's insistence, Tang San nodded in agreement. The master said, Xiao San, don't aim too high. More importantly, focus on increasing your spirit power. Your blue silvergrass's current abilities have exceeded my expectations. You will only grow stronger. You are my hope, understand? Now, let me see the most important thing and the question in your mind. Take off your shirt. Tang San's heart tightened. Ever since leaving the Stardow forest, without the threat of spirit beasts, he had been pondering the 8 spider legs on his back. Now, seeing the master, he eagerly wanted answers. He believed no one understood spirits, spirit beasts, and spirit rings better than his teacher. He took off his shirt and faced his back to the master. The master walked behind him and placed his hand on Tang San's spine. Tang San felt a warm and gentle spirit power entering his back, moving up and down his spine. The master's expression was serious as he carefully examined each vertebra. Xiao San, when you retract those spider legs, can you feel where they go? Tang San turned his right hand to his back and pointed to his ribs. They seem to attach to my ribs. It doesn't affect my body. Instead, I feel my back is stronger. The master touched the indicated area and found that these 8 ribs were thicker and more robust than the others. The spine segments connected to these ribs were also thicker, hard, and resilient. The back muscles connected to them were also more flexible. A look of surprise appeared on the master's face, but he said nothing. He stepped back 5 meters and said, use your spirit power to release those spider legs. Running his Shentian Gong, Tang San felt slightly nervous. It was his first time actively releasing these strange spider legs. Frankly, despite their strength, he didn't like them. He always felt that having these legs made him a monster. The master watched intently, not wanting to miss any detail. A faint blue light began to emerge from Tang San's back. Next, the master saw Tang San's entire spine glowing as if it would burst out, particularly the vertebrae he had noticed earlier. Then, the ends of the 8 ribs suddenly protruded, forming 8 bulges. Slight pain and itching spread across his back, causing Tang San some discomfort, but he continued to channel his spirit power.